Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to thank you for taking out this time for this interview for my class ECE 315. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Miss Royal. I am a third year autistic teacher
What grades?
in grades K through second. So the babies.
All right, awesome. Okay, I just want to ask you 5 brief questions and you can go ahead on and answer them. Number 1 is, how do children acquire language? Do parents teach their children to talk?
Yes, parents can teach their children to talk. Not only parents, but the community in general. Children, in my opinion, learn by modeling the language and hearing and practice. So whether it's their parents speaking to them or them hearing a conversation or dialogue on the television, students can acquire language that way as well. Also, students require by modeling, like I said, practicing, and also by symbols. Language is not only words and letters. For example, McDonald's. Kids may not know the word McDonald's or know how to read it or know how to spell it, but if they see those golden arches, they're going to correlate that with McDonald's and correlate that with eating food. So, yes, I think that children do acquire language. We all are equipped to acquire language, and parents can teach their child to talk as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Question number 2. How do you make your classroom a language-rich environment to encourage language learning in your classroom?
Great question. How I incorporate in my particular classroom, which is, I believe, is a very enriched language-rich environment, is by having classroom word walls. If you take a look around, you'll see I have the alphabet sub. I have different posters and stuff that has words and symbols as well. I also include in my classroom labels. So if you take a look around, you see that the chair has a label that says chair. The tables, everything around here is label based, because I want my students to know that everything has a name, and that language acquisition is very important and it is valuable. So if I could get my particular students to feel comfortable in my classroom with all this language and words and stuff, then they wouldn't have any problem with the outside world getting comfortable with it.
Okay, thank you. Question number 3. How do you determine if a child is experiencing a language delay? What do you do in that case?
I start by observing the student. So observing the students' behavior, in particular with around, even in my language enriched environment, I see how the students interact with it. The student putting forth an effort to learn those words or to even take a look at it. Simple as that. I also look at their behavior. So like if it's a particular time, it's time to sing the ABCs or read something, they particularly will act up or act out. I also start with my benchmarks, my standard assessments, my informal assessment, formative as well. That's where I start at. What do I do in that case? I start with the baseline. I test the student. I start with data, and I just track data through a period of time, and I proceed from there.
All right, thank you. Question number 4. Since you work with children with autism, are they able to learn and communicate language? If so, how?
Yes, absolutely. I love that question. I believe that students with autism in particular, everyone has the tools to learn language, to communicate. In my particular case, some students, they'll be nonverbal. However, they're able to communicate through the PECS, which is the picture exchange communication system, where they are able to, it's a picture, it has words on it, and it's basically symbols for their basic wants and needs. How my students particularly use it, they show me a card or say, hey, for example, they have to go to the bathroom. They'll get the PECS that has the picture of the bathroom and the word bathroom on it, and they'll pick it up and they'll show it to me. So we communicate a lot with PECS. Also, you can communicate with different communication devices like the Go Talk, the Big Mac. But I absolutely believe that they are capable of learning and communicating. So, yeah, it's like a two-way street.
All right. Thank you. And finally, question number 5. What do you consider your strengths and weakness in supporting language development? What do you think your strengths and weaknesses are in supporting language development?
Good question. My strengths and weaknesses. I believe that one of my strengths is I actually encourage and embrace a language-rich environment. I also am able to modify and notice how a language-rich environment can be appealing to different diversities of students and language of students. My weakness, I'll say is a weakness, is that for my personal goal, is to get more content, more knowledge about speech pathology and how the students learn how to receptive language and learn how to express language. So I want to get more information in receptive and expressive language. It's more easy to see that they receptive, but if the students are not expressing language, then you can tell that that's a problem. So it's easy for me to notice receptive, but expressive is where I would like to get some more professional learning trainings and so forth on that.
Okay, awesome job. I just want to commend you on the work that you're doing with these children. A lot of people don't understand how to work with children with autism, but I just want to commend you. Thank you, Miss Royal, for taking out the time for this interview.
Thank you, Miss Jones.
No problem.